Moo! Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Baby dolls. Everybody is calling for a bear market now. Everyone. Absolutely everyone. Andrew Tate, James Wynn, Ivan, Blockchain Backer, Ben Copen, Peter Schiff. More. Everyone's calling for a bear market. I'm going to show you what's cracking. We've got a lot of news to cover today. Gold. 9th green week in a row. All those crypto KOLs. We're going to speak about US government shutdown. We're going to speak about President Pump and the China tariffs. A bit of Jack Dorsey with some stablecoin and privacy coin supercycle stuff. All of that coming your way and more. The BTC monthly candle is still red. Okay, it is still red. However, if we go down to the short-term price action, I would like to bring this to your attention. This is Bitcoin on the 4-hour. Remember, these lines, this is just the previous month low and the previous month high. Okay? The big yellow ones are the big levels. The red ones, they're weeklies. They're important, but they're not as big as the monthlies, right? So this was obviously the previous month. So September's low was here. And then you have, yes, actually September's low was there and September's high was there. You see that? So this, and obviously we're trading the current month. So we are in a very, very critical area here. All right. This is honestly, don't get scared. There's always do or die moments, but this is pretty much it. If Bitcoin wants to give the first sign that everything's going to be all right, it would go back in the monthly range here and start screwing around. That's what it has to do. If it really wants to start the bear market, this is where it stalls right here, and then you get another flush. Okay, that could be it. You know, but nothing's guaranteed, but this is pretty much where it would occur. Okay, so we're actually right around here, 107,000 American dollars. So this is short-term price action stuff, okay? Obviously, like you might say, resuming the bull market. So to kill the first round of bears, the first round, not all of them, but the first round, you would have to see Bitcoin close above 118,000. Yeah, because it would be above last month's high, okay? Above last month's high, like hanging around here. That's $118,000 plus, all right? So yeah, that is another fancy way to say, oh, when the price goes down, they're bearish. When the price goes up, they're bullish. Yeah, it is. But I'm just giving you a closer look as to what's going on. We are still a bit concerned. This is the Bitcoin 6-month candle. All right. It's literally hanging here with a doji. This is it. Look, man, I won't be surprised, friends. I mean, like, what if we just finish this year? It's kind of like a small candle. It's technically green, but it's like small. I wonder if we can finish something like that and then actually blow off next year. We'll see. We'll see. A lot of unknowns. We are running in the longest cycle ever. It is. And yeah, Bitcoin is 2x the all-time high. There are just a few things, you know, that haven't popped off. You know, we're all seeing these traditional euphoria signs. People don't believe in euphoria. I mean, like, look at gold, Habibi. People literally lining out the door for gold all around the world. So you probably want to see as well, friends. So we should actually look more closely at gold, which is what we're going to be doing. I think gold, I mean, I've been waiting for it to stall out for such a long time, but this might have been the final parabolic blow. Okay. Now remember, gold, its max drops are like 20-30%, and it takes a while, and then it goes sideways. It doesn't like capitulate like 70% like crypto or anything. Okay. Gold hit 30 trillion. Now, gold, friends, dropping 5% just as a starter in the day. This is a scam wick. Binance pretty much liquidated everyone. And yeah, I guess the prophecy did complete from Crypto Kobe, who said gold would hit $5,000 before Ethereum, which is kind of funny. So we're hanging around here, all right? Remember, gold on the weekly, friends, this is like extremely important, okay? Gold, 9 green weeks in a row. This has only happened 3 times in history. Each time was met with extreme sideways. Extreme. Okay, so we have 9 in a row. I'll be showing you more stats and data, depending if you're pants on or not. Okay, you tell me which one you prefer, friends. Are you a data guy or a data girl? Or a data guy? So, the price of meth went cheaper. All your friends under the bridge, they're going to be having a party this Friday. So, this is Ethereum, friends. Ethereum showing nice signs. Look at this. We're actually watching in real time. It's actually back in last month's range. Do you see that? But look, these things can always fake out. You know what I mean? They're just squiggly lines. It is quite significant. You're like, oh wow, you're inside back last month's range. Okay, that's nice. However, I'll just show you something, okay? In 2021, this is Ethereum's price action. So this is what Bitcoin and Ethereum did if we zoom in, right? So, you know, we had a big capitulation. We come back within that previous month range of November. And then it comes back here, tries to liquidate, and then it goes up, you know? And then you might have been bullish here. You're like, oh, wow, this is actually okay. You see that dips low. You're like, oh my gosh, we're holding. But then look what ends up happening. There is eventually a crack. Goodbye. You see, and actually that becomes resistance. See, the previous month low becomes your resistance to continue on, okay? So these things, they don't tell you exactly where things are going. Nothing does, all right? Remember, if you're trading anyway, you're just looking for good bets. You're trying to like get next to a level. You're like, okay, I'm wrong. If I lose, you know, $10 and I'm right, I can make $30. That's what it is, okay? So we're just looking at this. It's like chart pornography. Doesn't exactly tell you what's happening here. But we're trying to look at contextually. It is nice to see this happening, right? Also, that's why I'm telling you as well, friends, if you go above the previous monthly high, I mean, yeah, that ain't no bear market. That they're definitely wrong at that point, because that does not happen, okay? Where you go, oh, we're going to start a bear market, but first we're going to go up and close above the previous monthly high, right? So that's what we're waiting for. We still have historically high Bitcoin dominance as well. Bitcoin dominance, huge wick on that upside as well. I'll take it off here. So we need to see more friendship in this department as well. And remember, this is the gold price chart, friends. This is gold versus M2SL. This is historically high. I mean, like, check this out. It's like a 50-year range right here, this channel. Right here, man. And but that chart, that's 3-month candles. So it takes a while. Another thing I want to remind you of, we know the PMI is low. I show you that every day, right? The PMI is still low. So this is actually what I should do is let's cover it again for everyone. Before we even do that, let's look at the racist Russell 2000. The racist Russell 2000 scammed us. Went below the all-time high, but it's actually holding. So, man, this will be really good if you finally come up here. Man, you had 1, 2, 3, and it's still hanging around here. So we needed to kind of, yeah, we just needed to go up and hold again and not get weighed down by the rest of the stock market. Remember, I show you the PMI all the time, friends. Remember, PMI, we're still in month 35. So this is obviously the discrepancy for everyone is they go, well, look, the economy's weak, but we can always start a recession. That's what everyone says, okay? When everyone was... So, friends, you know when everyone was talking about, oh, there was a big scam week in December 2021 and things went bad? Yes, they were referring to environments when PMI was above 58, all right? So that's the reference they're all talking about. Blockchain backer, everybody else, all their indicators are this, all right? Now, friends, I know, I'll tell you, it's a believer cycle, okay? So... if you believe in the bull market, in any asset, the bull market ends when you run out of buyers. That's why you got to think about gold, right? You literally have people throwing in pennies from the street who are poor. Like, oh, I've got to line up. I'm a retailer. You know what I mean? Like, you're running out of buyers at that point. You've pretty much, you got everybody lining up the door. Who else is left, you know? So that's the difference between the environment then and now. Okay, that's why I mentioned to you, right? The bull market will end. You run out of buyers. It has nothing to do with the sellers. That's why it's a battle. Do you think the bull market's now going to end because 4-year cycle JEETs have sold, or the leverage people have force sold? I don't think so. I've got my bull hat on. Mew. Bull market ends when you run out of buyers. Okay, it has nothing to do with the sellers. I got to stress that. Leverage wipeout. That is forced sellers. Everyone says, oh, structurally, the market's destroyed. Okay, structurally, you can suck my balls. Structurally, nothing. All right? You haven't run out of buyers. The bull market will die. It will end on euphoria. It will die on euphoria. That's how bull markets end. Okay? And they end when you kill the final bear. The final bear. I'm going to show you a list of a lot of, say, KOLs, for example. I'm not targeting anyone. There's not targets here or anything. I'm here to give you a list. I'm here for information, friends. I didn't sell you anything, okay? Actually, if you notice, everybody on this list does sell you something. They actually do. I think if I go to, yeah, everyone on this list does sell you something except maybe Crash, which I'll show you now. So, many crypto KOLs calling for a crypto bear market in the past 24 hours, okay? They just go bang, 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 bang. Everyone's coming out. A lot of tweets. Everyone's like, it's over, it's over, it's over. Pretty much. They're saying, okay, now we begin the 1-year bear market. Right? We have Andrew Tate. Okay, Andrew Tate, He's calling for a bear market. He says Bitcoin's going down to 26,000. I know all this off by heart. It's funny. I'm here for you, friend. That's what I'm here for you. I'm here to serve you. You are my friend. Okay. So Andrew Tate as well. He sells that little group course. I forgot what it's called. I think you're going there, send each other like, you know, pictures of your willy. What do you do in those that trenches? This war room. James Wynn as well. Calling for a bear market. He says it's over, capitulation bad. Bitcoin is 88,000. He's calling. What is he selling? He's selling referral. He's got referral links, which is okay, but he's also he keeps posting like a new meme coin every 2 seconds. Also, there was a gentle person he replied to me. I forgot your name, sorry, but he was very angry at me, and he said, "Somi, stop posting about James Wynn because he lets us speak as Pulse Chain people in the Twitter spaces." He goes, "You should know this, so you should basically just shut your mouth about anything he does because they let us." Look, here's the thing. Thank you for telling me that. It is cool, but like, you're reading my tweets in your head tone. Okay, when I'm showing you somebody shills a coin and it's down 90% and they moved on to another coin in 2 seconds, or when I'm showing you that they just got liquidated for the 4th time on leverage, okay, you are interpreting that as like, you know what that means. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying, oh wow, look at this. Like, it's just, do you know what I mean? It's from you. And you got to think about it. If you are, be honest with yourself. If you naturally think there's something wrong with that picture, that means you are swallowing your pride, I guess, and participating, which is okay. That is okay. But I'm not going to do that, dude. That's just not me, man. I'm not going to go do that. You know it's bad. I don't care who does it, bro. I don't care. I don't care who does it. Right? Name a person. I don't give a crap who does it. It's dangerous, dude. If you put most of your portfolio, dude. Bro, we just had the biggest liquidations in all history. Okay? We just had the biggest liquidations in crypto history, Habibi. I'm trying to remind everybody, hey, man, look, these people don't have their coins anymore, man. They don't have their coins. Yes, our coins are priced and poop. They just don't have their coins now. I know it's tough. I know everyone's trying to make progress, and I know everyone's trying to do outreach, and, don't worry, man. Like, you got to think about abundance mindset. When PMI is higher, there's new people coming in, right? Everyone will forget each other's names. Ben Copen calling for a bear market. He sells his VIP course, costs thousands of dollars a year. But it's interesting, right? Because Ben Copen, in last cycle, he called for lengthening cycle theory, LCT. I think he made like 46 videos or something about it. Made like some very, very long lengthening cycle theory. And then we had a 4-year cycle on the dot. Now, interesting, he's now 4-year cycle. But they don't say 4-year cycle. I've noticed everyone calling for the end, friends. They don't call for 4-year cycle. But this is what's even more crazy, okay? So this is every single person on that list. I think most of them, not all of them, most of the people on their list were calling me stupid to get long in crypto. And I was saying, you know what? It's a 4-year cycle. We've gone down for a year. Everyone's like, we've killed the final bull. These prices are cheap. They were all calling me stupid. They were saying, oh, no, the 4-year cycle doesn't work anymore. This time is different because the US Fed is raising rates and we're going to have a recession in 2023. I was hearing that every single day. And you were too. You check out my Twitter. All throughout 2023. They all remain bearish, okay? So, yes. We also have Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff calling for a crypto bear market. He says the official Bitcoin bear market has started. And it's funny. He's top blasting gold. And he made a tweet yesterday, friends. He said gold's going to hit $1 million before Bitcoin. I mean, you want a euphoria signal, Habibi? I mean, like, just let me show you. Right here. Uncle Peter Schiff. Gold is more likely to hit 1 million than Bitcoin. Friends, literally the 9 green weeks in a row. Euphoria. Isn't it interesting when I told you when Bitcoin does 6 green months in a row, pure euphoria happens as well, just like so I have, or 6, it did 7, right, in 2024, and then we had big consolidations. The interesting, gold has these repetitive weeks too. We also have blockchain backer, friends. Blockchain backer calling for a bear market. He's very contrarian as well. He sold all 50% of his portfolio. He's measuring everything based off like divergence, RSIs and stuff, We have Ivan, our friend Ivan. Ivan's calling for the bear market now. We have Taiki Maeda also calling for the bear market. He's actually funny. I've got a screenshot later on. I'll maybe cover it. Yummy update. He's short 20 altcoins. All 20. Yeah, I'm not joking. He's literally short 20. We have Crashiest Clay, friends. Remember Crashiest Clay? He was a big Brett promoter. Remember Brett Token? Yeah, basically he's calling for the bear market. Yeah, it breaks my heart because in the comment sections, by the way, Crashiest Clay, he used to like Hex back in 2021. I guess he took a big loss on it and everyone, and then probably doesn't like Richard Hart anymore because it's down 99%. But yeah, it breaks my heart in the comments because everyone was like, but what happened to Brett hitting a 30 million market cap? And then everyone's down 98%. Instead of 2.8 cents, it's like, 0.28 cents. Obviously all the coins are down, but just people's hearts are like broken because they're just seeing that. It's the same as like blockchain back in XRP. Because everyone's expecting to sell XRP at $10. Now they're selling at $2.50 and they're getting out. Actually, minimum $10, expecting it to sell at $30. So, yeah, my friends, actually, most of these people selling something as well. You know what I mean? But does that really, give us any edge or anything? I'm just marking it in time. That's it. I'm here. I don't care. I've got no ego. Don't care about this. It's not about any of that. This is what I'm doing. I go, it's interesting. Everyone's come out calling for bear. It's so cool. Richard Hart pretty much thinks we're going to extend. He did the bubbles, right? Ethereum to around 7,000 to 10,000. So gold hits $5,000 on Binance for fitting Crypto Kobe's prophecy, as we just saw. Also, I've got to give you a sneak peek as well, friends. When gold, so thank you to DJ Khalid from Pulse Chain, friends. Thank you, Habibi. There's a great chart here. Thank you for showcasing it. So, friends, historically, when gold goes parabolic and stops, okay, 3 out of 3 times, crypto then bursts. We have a risk on. We have the final 9 to 12 months of risk on, okay? Gold has just gone parabolic. We don't know when it's going to stop, though. That's why many people think gold will go to 6,000. Actually, we have our friend Crypto Face as well has made a long article calling for gold to 10 to 12,000, which I've got here. Actually, yeah, he's calling for gold 10 to 20,000, right? That's why, friends, it's hard because Mr. Cookie Face, he's contrarian too. Remember, he's trying to swing trade and stuff out here. And he's first to basically, laugh at people who are FOMO or buying any green candle. You know what I mean? He's always looking for counters. But now he's got gold. He wrote a whole essay on gold. It's stuff, if you watch my videos, I covered this ages ago, where Goldman Sachs and Credit Suisse, they were short more than the world's gold supply in 2008. And then 2023, they're told by the central banks to keep putting a lid on gold, right? To suppress it. But he's bullish on gold. It's just, look, here's the thing. Yeah, gold's eventually going to 10, 20,000, of course, because it just grows with the money supply over time. Just look at the timing of when he's come out with this. Like you're saying, everyone's coming out, Uncle Peter Schiff, everyone's coming out now saying it on weekly green candle number 9. Plus, we see all the retailers lining up everywhere. This is the information, friends. Look at this. Friends, literally every day there's a new video. Look at this. Gold to $1, bro. Beat on. Scam long dog. Look at that. See, this is the historical data showing you when there's gold has 9 green weeks in a row. Historically, what follows after 2 months? There's sideways, Could be a 30% drop, could be 2% drop. Doesn't really matter about the size. We just need it to slow down. That's good. So everyone's discounting that. They're just saying 4-year cycle. Okay, they're just saying 4-year cycle, it's over. Okay, most people. Yeah, so I'm holding, man. I'm holding. I see OTHERs-btc low. I see PMI all low. Consumer sentiment, I don't see any euphoria. Remember, this is the thing, friends. You don't know what is coming around the corner. No one knows. However, it's a game of probability and odds, right? The thing is, you have to assess who's holding with you. Okay? I'm buying, this is what you do in bull markets or just investing, right? You're meant to buy from the pessimists, from the skeptics, people who are sad, who don't like it. That's when you're buying. Okay? You're selling when people are really optimistic about the future. You buy from pessimists, you sell to optimists. Okay? Everybody's been pessimistic all year. Everything's been crap. All right? Who's optimistic? People lining up for gold. All right? Don't tell me that crypto has gone euphoric or anything from some JPEG coins on... Bro, okay, look, you saw the gold line all around the world. You see how obvious and clear it is? Everyone's saying, oh, we'll never have euphoria ever again. Okay, dude. I'm going to keep holding. See, I don't care what other people do. So... That's basically what I'm leaning on, friends. Everybody's a strong hand. Okay, everyone needs a strong hand. And that's actually how you win in markets, all right? So like, if you're long with a lot of weak hands, people who've overly invested and they put in a lot of leverage and everything's gone up heaps, so they think it's definitely going up, that's your weak hand stuff. Because once it starts going down, it capitulates and everything gets pooped, all right? I just see strong hands around me. I see strong hands. You might not call them strong hands, though. They say you're stupid, you're taking too much risk, it could go down further, it's never going to go up, altcoins are dead. But you have to sift through that, friends. That's another word of strong hand. Okay? That's another word. They don't talk like that. Why? Because usually the people calling them stupid and stuff out here, they've sold and they wanted to go lower, as you get to see with the list of all the people there. All right? So as we've seen, retailers line up as exit liquidity globally in every nation to buy gold at over $4,000 an ounce. Okay? Hopefully it chills out, you know? It's kind of funny, friends, as well. Crypto Sniper, shout out to Francis. He's been picking a few people on crypto Twitter, like macro people you and I don't really recognize. He's like, oh, too many people are trying to call the gold top. They're going to get destroyed. But like, Francis, you got to remember, bro, a few of the crypto KOLs on Twitter who are just these anonymous dudes, they're not crypto KOLs, they're like macro people. Like, when you see literally lines of people out the door like this, all over the world, friends, look at this. When you see all the retailers, bro, the actual exit liquidity, look at this, friends. Look at this, bro. Look at this. Look at it. This is literally all over the world. Do you know, like, come on, man. Who are you more scared of? Come on, guys. Come on. Man, Francis, you're contrarian like me. Who do you want to hold with, bro? The people waiting 3 hours out the line to buy gold, bullion, right? Is that who are you really confident with them? Come on, man. You'd be scared. I'm scared shitless. I would be scared shitless. Okay. Hey, imagine you saw lines out the door, people buying Bitcoin at 200,000. You would be scared, bro. But just, friends, I'm telling you right now, what you're going to see is, let me tell you something. A lot of the contrarian people who don't believe in FOMO crypto stuff, you'll find they're actually holding gold. Okay. And what you'll find is they're too scared to sell now. I promise you, friends, every single person has a personality. Everyone's an ice cream. You're just going to take a lick. I promise you that. Yeah. Everyone hoards something. Yeah. Some people just hoard US dollar, but they're just losing to inflation over time. Yeah. You'll find a lot of contrarian people, they're not going to get rid of their gold. They won't. You'll see. You'll see. But you're not going to know now. You just keep this in your memory from your friend Somi. Months from now. 3, 6, 9, 12 months, you know. There might be a risk-on moment. These people, they're not even going to talk about the gold. It won't even come up in conversation. It won't even come back in. They won't say, oh no, that these people, friends, they don't come out and say, damn it, I've made a mistake. I've hoarded my gold for 12 months. I should have gone risk-on when everything resumed. They're not going to say that. There's going to be some sort of mild pivot. That's why, friends, you just got to look after yourself, okay? You try to take as much as you can, but, you know, only you can save yourself. US rates have now priced in more than 3 rate cuts ahead. So this is actually what happened yesterday, friends. So I always show you I constructed this chart for you to show you the difference between the US rate cut expectations for the next 2 years, right? So it's the US 2-year minus the Fed funds. At minus 0.75, it's exactly 3 cuts. So for yesterday, it went more than 3 cuts expected. It's actually bouncing a bit here. I guess we'll see what happens over time. Maybe as the CPI comes low, it goes down. So we're starting to move into the more than 3 cuts territory. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, the US government shutdown has continued as the Senate rejects a funding bill for the 10th time. So I think it's clear what's happened. Trump wants to slow down the inflation a bit. So this was, I guess, their strategy. Let's do the shutdown, okay, where just nothing works. Workers aren't getting paid as much. The government basically just bleeding them out. It's kind of funny how that's the way to do it. Instead of firing people, what they'll just do is they just get them to get like, hey, take 10 days off, take 15 days off, make people slow down their purchase stuff out here. You know, just make things slow down a bit just to get the inflation, just to get it to tick a bit worse, a bit lower, which is actually better for us, not worse. It's actually cooler, which is what we want. So we'll see. President Trump quotes, "We will be fine with China." And he also said, "I'm meeting with President Winnie the Pooh in 2 weeks. The current US tariffs on China are not sustainable." Okay. And also more comments from Trump. He says, we could move up China's 100% tariff deadline from November 1st. So it seems like they're doing the whole shtick all over again, man. Some sort of manipulation, moving up with him for negotiations. You know, he's about to meet with him, so he's coming in super hard. So when he goes and talks, right? Also, Jack Dorsey calls for a privacy-focused messaging app Signal to adopt Bitcoin. So we care about privacy. Privacy is a human right with what little amounts we have left. Thank you to Mr. J. Plush as well. The four horsemen of the apocalypse. We have Taiki Maeda, Andrew Tate. We have Jams Win, and now we have Crypto Crapo. So I've got more to cover for you later on, friends. So basically, obviously, it feels like it's a knife's edge. However, look, man, like I've been telling myself and you this whole year. I said we have to get the 4-year cycle Jeets out. Yeah, I didn't want it to come to this, but you and I, we knew deep down, you don't get them out by going up 5x and then they take profit and then you run up 100x. That's fan fiction. That's what everybody like dreams of. We're like, oh, we run up 5x, they take profit, but then we blow off and we keep going up and everybody gets super rich. Like, nah, unfortunately, markets doesn't work like that. It's more like no one wins. We go down, they get out, they're selling the bottom, and later on, it's harder and harder for them to get back in. Because here's the thing, friends. You know, all those people that have sold, they're not going to get back in 2 seconds. Yeah. You have to swallow pride. You have to swallow ego. You know, and they're very confident they'll be able to get in and get in and get. Because the thing is, they have this false sense of security because they think it's going to be. This is the dangerous part, right? When you're out of vaults, they think it's going to be slow on the way up, just forever. So they think, oh, don't worry, I'll be able to get back in. The problem is, when alt seasons are actually about to start in crypto history, they start going up fast. Okay, they start going up fast. So within 3 months, you got to think about this, friends. Like, just like once you get the green candles, in 3 months, look, altcoins are up. This was 2017, right? Altcoins, they're up 9x there. That's because it's 2017, okay? But if you check out the 2021, in 3 months, because Bitcoin went up here, they're up about 3.5x. So they've all sold, right? You know, it's hard to go, oh, I'm out, calling for a bear market. And then next month, oh, wait, no, I'm not. Like, if you're long, it's easy for you to just say, oh, just come back in. But no. They've made a big decision. They've sold. They've got taxes set aside, right? They've told everybody else to sell. They tell their audience to sell. They've wrote the essays. They've committed to it. So now their minds are going to look at everything bearish. All right? So that's what you and I are going to be doing. We're going to be in hope and cope mode. Hopefully, we get to see some price action continue for Ethereum going up as well. But Bitcoin's the big daddy, of course. Bitcoin. Can it reclaim this 107 and start hanging around the middle? That's what we're waiting for next. I guess we'll see. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.